All right, talking more RV sales today. We're talking about, how are you handling the RV trade, right? Because a lot of people are going to have a trade in when they're coming in to look at RVs and when they're looking at something new. The truth is, times change, our needs change. Sometimes we're young, we're looking at RVs. And we might be looking for XYZ RV, and then 2 years later we have kids, and that changes the whole perspective of what kind of RV that we have. Our kids get older, they leave the nest, now we need a completely different RV. So times change, things change, people's needs change, and that's why you're going to see trade-ins come in. Now, the other part of it is customers buy the wrong RVs. They get sold the wrong units. High pressure salespeople, sometimes they're good at what they do. They sell the first RV they take people into. The customer doesn't really know any better, maybe because they've never RV'd or maybe because, whatever the case is, and they buy the wrong RV. So now what happens is they camp in it a couple times. They realize that that RV is not the one that's going to meet their needs. And now they're trying to trade it in. Now, if this is the case, a lot of the time they're going to be dealing with negative equity, especially if they just bought the RV last year brand new and they're trying to trade it in this year, which happens a lot. I'm sure every RV salesperson out there has heard, bought this RV at the show last year. Doesn't really meet our needs. We're looking for something bigger. We're looking for something different. We're thinking of a fifth wheel instead of a travel trailer. All of the different things that you hear. So it just depends, right? How are people, what happened? Like, why did they buy the wrong RV? And a lot of the time it's because they had a bad salesperson. So, when we're talking to our customers and we're dealing with the trade, what we have to know is what that trade is going to cost. Okay. And what I mean by that is, how much value does that trade have? Are they trading in a brand new 2022 fifth wheel? Let's just say they paid $50,000 for it last year. This year it's worth $25,000. And these are similar numbers. They're going to have $25,000 in negative equity. Don't let your customer buy a boomerang unit. They use it, bring it right back. Heard that one. I've seen so many boomerang units in my day. And you don't want to be the salesperson that sells the boomerang unit, because customers don't like those kinds of salespeople. They get locked in, and you're that salesperson that sold the boomerang unit. They're not coming back to you because they know that you don't understand what they're doing. I'm working on changing all of this. I have some major ideas looking for investors. I've been featured on a reality docu-series. Been preaching this forever. Lived in mine for 6 years and have sold RVs. Nice. So that'll be interesting. I'd love to see the docu-series. Not really sure what you're doing there, Garrett, but I'd love to check it out. Let's talk offline and see if it makes sense. So handle the trade. Customers, they buy the wrong RV. Boom. Now they have $25,000 in negative equity. They bought the RV for 50. It's worth 25 with you. So there's, 25,000 in negative equity. We need to understand that before we show them an RV, right? Because if we show the customer an RV and they need to be, let's just say, at $1,000 a month, and we show them a unit that is, $100,000, but they have $25,000 in negative equity, then we really need to show them something that's, maybe $75,000, so that when we roll the negative equity in, we get them to that $1,000 a month payment. So you have to be able to understand, as you're talking to your customers in the very beginning of the sales process, hey, what are you RVing in now? So that you can learn what they have. In addition, that's a good question because you can learn how they can get better, right? What problems they're having in their RV. That way you can fix those issues, right? What issues are you having with the RV you're camping in now? Hey, well, we realize it's too small. We have kids, we have X, we have Y, we need more beds, we need more storage, we need blah 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 blah. So now I have a customer telling me their issues, and they're all about their RV that they're currently camping in. And that's great because now the customer is really building in their mind why they hate the current RV that they're in. So now when I show them an RV that makes sense and fixes these needs, then I'm doing them a favor, right? I'm helping them out, and it happens to be at the right price. So that's where being a pro plays in your favor, right? Know your customer, know your inventory. Exactly right, Juan. Know your customer, know your inventory. And you got to ask those right questions, right? Because if you don't ask what trade they're bringing in to the dealership, like if you don't ask in the very beginning of that sales process, hey, what are you camping in now? Well, what do you got? And they tell you, hey, I have a 2022 fifth wheel. I paid, 50,000 for it. In your head, while they're telling you this, what you can say to yourself, or what you can start doing the math. Oh, well, that's probably worth 25,000. They're going to roll negative equity of about 25,000 then. So now in the very beginning of the sale, when a customer is telling me, hey, I have this trade in, I paid 50,000 for it last year. What do you think it's worth? I'm going to say something like, to be honest with you, I think it's probably worth maybe 25,000. And they're going to like, oh my God, are you kidding me? 25,000. I could never do that. And then I go, well, to be honest with you, I just had a customer last week trade in something very similar. They took 25,000 for it, but I don't know what it's going to be worth until I go get it to my sales manager. So I'm just kind of giving you a ballpark. Well, that's ridiculous. I would never take that. Well, I hear what you're saying. I'm just giving you a ballpark. Let me figure it out. I'll talk with my sales manager. We'll see what we can give you for the trade, and we'll go from there. Does that sound fair enough? Yeah. Well, so now if I know that they have 25,000 in negative equity, I can go back to my sales manager and say, hey, is there a good RV I can put them in where maybe we can hide some of this negative equity, where we can give them a little bit more for their trade? Or, if you don't work that way, maybe you're, a bottom price dealer kind of thing where the numbers are the numbers. You kind of just got to show them the numbers. But I always give them that number up front so that, they don't get shocked whenever I'm like talking about their trade numbers in the sale. Because now if I go to my sales manager and, he gives me 26,000 for it, I'm going to go back to my customer and say, hey, got great news. $26,000 for your RV. You're getting $1,000 more than my last customer. That's fantastic. Right. So now I know that it's not going to be a win per se, but I'm turning it into a little bit of a win in the fact that they got a little bit more than the last one. And it's not my fault that you bought the wrong RV. It's your fault for not having the right salesperson, for not doing your own due diligence, for not asking or not telling the salesperson, what you needed, or, whatever the case is, right? It's the customer's fault for buying the wrong RV. And it's the salesperson's fault for selling them the wrong RV. So, the trade, there's a lot that we can learn from the trade. We can learn what customers don't like. We can learn what customers need. We can do the math on how much negative equity they might have or how much positive equity they might have, so that we can make sure that we're showing them the right RV that'll line up with their monthly payment that they want to be at. So the trade, take some time, learn about it, ask the questions, ask how much they owe. Start learning. If you're new in RV sales, start learning the values to these trade-ins. Like when you go back to your sales manager and say, this is what they have, start thinking, oh, every time I go up there with a 2022 fifth wheel, it's worth $30,000 at this foot, right? Just start getting an idea of knowing what that trade will be worth, so you can start doing the math in your head so that we can be sure we're showing the right RVs. If you haven't done enough deals, this might not make sense yet. But as you get going through the deals, as you start working with your sales manager more to structure a deal, you'll start to understand more while learning a lot about the trade, learning the payoffs, learning all that information in the beginning of the deal will help you structure the right deal to get it closed. If you're a business or a dealership that needs more customers, then give me a call directly. That's exactly what we do. And we guarantee to get you more customers, or we will work for free. Give me a call now, 330-703-3930. Again, 330-703-3930. If you're an RV salesperson that wants to get better at the deal, go sign up for the RV sales training program. You can sign up for it at sellmorelivemore.net. It's only $99, so it's very inexpensive. It'll pay itself off 10 times over as you sell more RVs, and it'll walk you through the sales process from A to Z. So if you're having trouble with the RV sales process, go to sellmorelivemore.net, spend $100, invest in yourself. That way you can start closing more deals. It'll pay itself off 100 times over, I guarantee you. So go to sellmorelivemore.net if you're in RV sales. If you're an RV salesperson, sign up for that RV sales training program. If you like to read, make sure you go to Amazon, go to Barnes & Noble, and buy the book, Sell More, Live More Sales Training. It'll walk you through the sales process as well. That way you can get better at the deal and start closing more sales. So if you haven't got the book yet, Sell More, Live More Sales Training, go to Amazon, go to Barnes & Noble. All these links are in the description, so drop down in the description. Click on those links or copy and paste them into your browser, however you need to. Visit those links, sign up for those programs, and start getting better at the deal. But again, if you're a dealership or business that could use more customers and you like guarantees, well, I guarantee you we'll get you some more customers. Give me a call, 330-703-3930. But while we're out there at our dealerships this week, let's start learning more about the trade. Let's start asking more about the trade. Let's learn what they don't like, what they do like, what they paid for, what they owe, what the payoff is, and really dig in so that we can show the customer the right RV and set the deal up so that we can close it at the end game. Appreciate everybody that keeps coming back to these RV sales talks. We're going to be talking about RV sales and the sales process in general all year long. So if you haven't given us a like on Facebook yet, if you haven't subscribed to our YouTube channel, make sure you hop over to YouTube, hop over to Facebook, type in Infinite Media Resources, and give us a like and a subscription. That way you can be here for the different sales and marketing content that we put out throughout the year. While we're out there at our dealerships, let's close some deals this week. Let's learn the trade. Let's add some value to our customer's life. And let's make sure we're following up so that we can talk to enough customers to exceed our sales goals. Till the next one, I'll see you then.